Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan. I started reading it years ago, and I've even told people that it's changed my life, the way I look at things. Um, I watched a lot of the movies and TV shows that's based on it. And of course, to me, number one and number two of the best Sherlock Holmeses would be the Basil Rathbone and Jeremy Brett. Jeremy Brett's probably number one. But these were great. I think there was 13 or 14 of the actual movies. And the first two get the highest praise. Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce. They get the highest praise because they were sort of more traditional. What a lot of people don't understand, because so much time has passed, is this was one of the first modern Sherlock Holmeses. The reason you don't recognize it as that is because it's made in the, roughly the 40s, 50s. But a lot of people criticize these because of Nigel Bruce. And I think he's great. And I get it. I do get their argument, kind of making him sort of goofy. But a lot of it is people don't understand. He may have some weird quirks about him. I would not refer to him as an idiot. And I would not refer to him as being incompetent. As a matter of fact, just like a lot of times, you see a lot of these people getting too excited about comic books and movies and things like that, and it's good to get interested and somewhat passionate about it, but you don't want to go too far. A lot of what it is people get too involved, and they think a little highly about themselves. I go so far as to say the Nigel Bruce Watson is by far higher in intelligence and more competent than most of the people who criticize him, if not all. You have to watch these all the way through. You can just go down the line where even when he's doing something goofy, like in the House of Fear, shooting what he thinks is people surrounding him, he's getting death shots, kill shots, what would have been kill shots, in the darkness. He's, just one I watched a while ago, he shoots and narrowly misses the back tire of a moving vehicle. He takes down Moran in Terror by Night. I think that's got another title also. His medical deductions all the way through here are very good. He often outdoes Lestrade, and they kind of, you don't hear people complain about Lestrade as much. And Lestrade isn't 100% an idiot, but he jumps at things a lot more than Watson does on these. But people are very much underselling Watson. He knocks Holmes down when he thinks he's just a guy criticizing Holmes. He did a lot of great things in this. He's not a complete incompetent. He's somebody that you would misjudge and you'd get in trouble. I would refer to him as highly intelligent. Has a strange way of acting for sure. And you would definitely, I would put it pretty close to like Columbo. Now granted, he doesn't have the detective skills of Columbo, but you would definitely underestimate him. And I like this particular scene right here. This is from the Spider Woman. Really all through this, he's got his moments where you should know that he's not completely useless. But this is a very interesting scene right here. Hopefully I can play this without getting in any sort of trouble, copyright strike or whatever.
Inside one of there, looks as though Lord must have gone in for anatomy on the side.
That's curious. His main interest was invertebrates, not vertebrates. Why the chart of the skeleton of a child?
It isn't.
What's that?
It isn't a child.
Are you sure?
Look at all these teeth. I mean, the skull of a normal child of this size, 5 or 6 years old, would be much larger in proportion to the circumference of the chest.
Watson, I've got it. Got one. That devil of a woman. Bringing that chart in.
See right there, you see him put Sherlock Holmes in his place. He outsmarts him on that, which is his field. But that just, I mean, there's a lot of examples like that. I think this is still a good one. A lot of people like him for, some people actually like him for how goofy he is. What they thought back then, what I heard the logic was behind this, is they thought it would be a little boring if they made Watson just sort of plain. And they were wrong on that. Obviously, it would be proven with later versions of Sherlock Holmes. To me, the Ronald Howard and H. Marion Crawford kind of mirror this a little bit. You even notice that Lestrade kind of looks similar. They go with the giant Lestrade instead of a small ferret-like man that he's supposed to be. But you kind of have it kind of mirrors this a little bit. Ronald Howard does his own thing. I could do a video for it in particular. I thought it was, he did his own version of it and he took pride in that. But it's the same sort of thing. He has his own level of competence. I lost my train of thought there. But you know that you got to do your own variation of this. But he was sort of the straight man. He had kind of a sense of humor. He wasn't clumsy. H. Marion Crawford didn't play the sort of clumsy where we would underestimate his intelligence. You would think that H. Marion Crawford Watson was at least reasonably intelligent. If you didn't know better, you would think the Nigel Bruce one was a little on the dumb side. I don't feel that way. But you know, you look at the Jeremy Brett ones with Burke and Hardwick, and you know many other ones where they didn't make him any sort of goofy or anything like that, and it was still entertaining. But they, from what I understand, they made him this way because they thought it would be more entertaining. It would kind of widen the audience a little bit, and maybe even might even been something to target children. But I don't think it's a bad idea. You got to do your own thing, whether you're making a movie or covering a song or whatever else. But I think it's a good Watson. I think it's a good variation. And most of the time, people are just underestimating him. And that kind of proves it right there. He's somewhat saved the day multiple times. He's done some goofy things. Even on this, he made some goofy mistakes. But a lot of times he's dealing with criminal masterminds. Anybody would make that same mistake if they're not Sherlock Holmes or Columbo or somebody like that. It's to be expected. So anyway, that's my sort of short defense of Nigel Bruce, his version of Watson, and I think he deserves more respect than he gets.